Hello, friends. I feel it is my great pleasure again to welcome you back to my lecture series on the subject intellectual property rights, which is sixth unit introduced by Vsvesvaraya Technological University for in the subject research methodology and intellectual property rights. Myself, Dr. Basavaraja, professor for the subject uh, Research Methodology and Intellectual Property Rights. Today is my sixth lecture series, and today I'm going to discuss with you the protection of intellectual property rights, IPR, a brief summary about the patents, copyrights, and trademarks. In the previous lecture series, we have already seen what the intellectual property right means, what are the characteristics, what are the various types of the intellectual property rights, like patents, copyrights, trademarks, industrial designs, and all that we have studied. We have already studied specifically the importance of intellectual property rights, its growth and origin. And today we are going to discuss from the point of view of Indian intellectual property acts. What are the intellectual property rights protection system? How the Indian intellectual property rights are protected. Let us discuss today each one of them in a brief way. That is the brief summary of the patents. In the next lecture series, I will discuss with you the trademarks and other part of it. And today we are going to discuss only on the brief summary of the patents. As all of you know, the meaning and characteristics of patent, we have already seen the meaning of the patent. A patent is an exclusive right that prevents anyone else from making, using, selling, distributing, or importing your invention without permission for a set of period of time. It means that any kind of a new innovations that you have made is totally restricted, where the monopoly rights lies with you only being the inventor. So the law is protecting copying of that or selling of that particular thing by the third party, or distributing it or importing or exporting such kind of innovations that you have made without your permission and without your what you call as effort. These activities cannot be made. That is restricted. Like a property, when you buy a property like a house or a plot, it cannot be sold or leased or anything can be done without the permission of the owner. So like that, without your permission, being the innovator, such properties cannot be bought or sold or cannot be transferred like a tangible property. These intangible properties of the new innovations can also be done. But the basic meaning of this talks about the characteristics talks about patents can is an exclusive rights given to the innovator. It may be a single innovator or maybe many innovators. For example, a product is innovated either by an individual effort or by the collective effort of many people. All the people will get the equal rights over that particular property which is patented. That is called exclusive rights. Next one is novelty. Any kind of a novel or a new kind of a innovations are only patented. Old products which are brought after some period of time and called as a new will not be accepted by the patenting authority. You have to give a proof that your product is new and no other product is existing in the same way. That is what we can patent. So that is a novelty. Novelty means new, where it is not in existence anywhere right now in any part of the country or any part of the world. Otherwise, it is called as copying and patenting. That is not permitted under the Indian Patent Act. Next one is inventive step. Inventive step in the sense, while you are patenting, you have to describe what are the inventive steps you have involved, how that invention got evolved, what are the sources of the information you have collected for innovating such kind of things, whether those sources are having authenticity or not, or whether the product you have made is not a duplicate of that. Is it a duplicate of that? Is all things are involved while patenting. The patenting authority will always look into innovative step that is followed to identify the new product. How that idea has come. Was there any product in existence because on that you have developed, or it is your own innovation where it is not in existence? All that details have to be mentioned while patenting the product. Next one is industrial applicability. Any product that you innovate should have an industrial applicability. It means that it should have a utility or it should be commercialized, or it should be utilized for the public requirement benefit. That is what we call as innovation of a product. For example, if you develop a particular theory which is not converting into what you call as real product, really it cannot be applied for producing any product and all that, this theory can be only a copyright but not a patent. That we should understand in this case. Next one is territorial nature. The patent should belong to particular territory, and only in that particular territory that patent can be protected. For example, in Indian origin, if you create a patent, the patent can be protected by the Indian laws. Any kind of a copies or any kinds of selling that you make to US, and if the United States of America uses it recklessly without your permission after buying the product from you or giving some amount of royalty, that cannot be charged under the Indian Patent Act. So you have to allege through the US and all that. International cross borders, if the countries have got the dealings on the intellectual property rights, then you have a protection for between two different countries. Therefore, patent is particularly to the territory. If the product crosses the territory and copying and all kinds of things are done, for which the law doesn't intervene into controlling that. Next one is time bond. Patents are always time bond. For example, patents are given for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, maximum of 20 years. After that, patenting cannot be done. The reason is, after that particular expiry, the patent can be used in any way by the public, because the product has got a utility for the public. Therefore the it is option is given, freedom is given to the public to copy it after the expiry of the particular time bond. So transferability, patents can be transferred from one person to another person within the expiry of the time. For example, if I invented a new kind of a locking system or new kind of a software, and that I have patented, it can also be transferred. That patents can be transferred from the father to the son. How the property gets transferred, it can be transferred, it can be sold. Patent can be sold for a money. That price of the money for the selling the patent or using the patent is called as royalty, or a price for the patent. Next one is transferability, we have seen. Next one is public policy limits. What is public policy limits? Patents are subject to public policy. Any kind of innovations that is deteriorating the life of the public or detrimental to the ethical values of the country, such new products cannot be patented by the Patents Act of the any country, even in India also. That is why these are the basic characteristics. Let us understand what can be patented. Can we patent everything? All processes or products which are new, involving innovative step, capable of industrial application, and not barred by section 3 and 4 of the Patent Act of India, that is 1856 and 1972 Patent Act. If it is not barred, then those products can be easily patented. There are certain exceptions to the patenting activity mentioned under section 3 and 4 of Indian Patent Act. So product includes operators, maybe equipment, devices, machines, chemical products, and all that. Remember, all these patenting products are physical in nature, but the what we call is ownership of that particular product can be patented. That is what we call as patent. It is a newly innovated product by an inventor. So invention should not be published in India or elsewhere. One important thing, any innovation that you have made before the patenting, if you have published in any of the international publications, journals, or already you have discussed that idea, and that idea is caught and the other person is following it, then you cannot patent it. Patenting can be made before it is publicized, before it is product is made in the market available. It means that innovative products, before going to the market, before giving it to the awareness to the third party, if it is tested and products are patented, then only patenting is possible. What is the important role of patent in India? Why patents are most important? Why many people today go behind the patent? Most of the innovative organizations, that is research and development organizations, try to patent their product because of several reasons. The first important is encouragement and promotion of inventions and innovations. Patenting is basically done. The country's main intention is to protect the interest of the what you call as the innovator. If the innovator is too much what you call as ignorant, and he doesn't know that it will be copied by somebody, law will interfere in that and will protect him. So that is why the without the knowledge of the innovator, it cannot be done. Even if this is the case, normally the innovators will get more inspiration to innovate new products and try to patent them and try to get the returns on such innovations in the form of prize money or in the form of royalty, like that. Next one is incentive to innovators for developing a new technology, any new technology. Say, for example, new technology, when it has to be added, every person who puts an effort, time, money, and effort on the promoting that, if it is well rewarding to them, then new technologies may be identified. The intention to identify the new technology will come into picture, and that new technology will definitely make the people life more comfortable. That is why patenting is more helpful. It helps in long-term economic, industrial, and social growth, basically, because when the products are patented, the given organization only can utilize it. So it can reduce the competition in the market, and it can easily catch hold of the market, and revenue of that particular industry, revenue of that particular organization will increase, and the workers will get benefited. The more the revenue of the industry institute increases, the economic development simultaneously happens, because the products are bought and sold across the borders many a time. Like example, the BrahMos, a kind of missile that is being identified, innovated with the effort of Indian government and Russian government together. This BrahMos, now it is being demanded internationally. Each BrahMos is sold in crores. Whenever this much of money is being earned, the government will get the benefit. The government economic development will happen, and it will start improving the stability of the defense activity in the country. That is why you might have seen the country like America, a large amount of patents are being held by aeroplanes, aircrafts, and armaments and all that. Many countries will buy it from them only. Because of that, majority of the economic revenue of the country, USA, will be out of these armaments selling and all that. That is what the benefit of the this one. Making an environment for encouraging investments. When the patented products are there, organization can earn huge amount of profit. Whenever the organization profit comes, it is distributed to the investors in the form of dividends. The more the patents are, the more the market is, the more the revenue is, the more the investment returns are. Such companies are highly preferred by the investors to invest more money in the form of shares, stocks, and all that. That is why it will stabilize the investors' interest in investing money in the new innovative products and new innovative industries. Accelerating transfer of new technology. You might have seen already the transfer of new technology is possible. The old technology will be replaced with the new technology only if patenting is done. Because of this patenting, technology is developing very fast, because the new technology introducers know because of their innovations they can have a monopoly. There is a competition among the companies to sell the product in the market. Every company is trying to find the new innovations and try to patent so that competitors cannot copy it, and they can withhold that particular concept and launch in the market. Avoiding duplication of research. There is no copying of a research. Any smart person copies the things from somebody else and produces it as his own, can be identified, will be punished under the law, mentioning that he has made a criminal offense of copying it from somebody else. So that is why duplications or misutilization of the rights may not be possible through this. That is what patent plays a very important role in the country like India. If you see the patenting offices, the offices of patenting things are classified, are spread across the country in 4 different areas. One is in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai. If at all Karnataka has to register the patents, it can register through Mumbai or through New Delhi. So you can apply anywhere depending on the jurisdiction area and which is most convenient for you. Each these offices will take the patent records, what you call as when you submit that particular synopsis and a research proposal with the model that you have developed, it will be scrutinized by the authority and they will give you the patenting authority. Once you get the patent, that product you have invented will lie with you for the several years, which is mentioned in the patenting license. This is what we call as organizations operating. If you see the overall, what we call as legal framework for patenting in India, the first law for patenting started in the year 1956, the base act called Act 6 of Protection of Inventions based on the British patent law of 1952. exclusive based on the British law of 1856. In 1952, the patenting law, you get the fully exclusive privileges grant to innovators for a period of 14 years. In 1952, it is amended that time bond for that is 14 years. Earlier to that, it was very less. So British Patent Act is the base for developing the further things. And this act got amended in the year 1959. The act got modified and became the act of what is called the 15th act. Earlier it was 6th, and remaining products were also brought and amendment was made. Next it got amended in 1972. Again it got amended in 1983. Again it got amended in 1988. 1911, 1972, the Patent Act of 39 of 1970. That means the act got 39 articles. Then again it got amended in 1999. In 2002, after 1999, when the globalization entered into, when the foreign products started coming in the country, then Indian patents were to be protected effectively. That is why a lot of amendments were made to sanction the patenting activity. A kind of motivation is given to the patenting. The patenting process is shortened, where many people get the benefit during 1999. And after that, in 2002, again, amendment happened in 2005, the last amendment we got for the Patent Act. Now the Patent Act has gotten several articles where it will define how the patenting can be processed for patenting, which can be patented, and those who apply will be patented under this act. Inventions not patentable. There are certain inventions which cannot be patented according to, because Patent Act not only patents all the products, but it has certain limitations. Within that, if at all any product falls in, only those products are called as patentable products, and they are patented under the Indian Patent Act of 1970. Because from 1970 onwards, no change has been made to the list of the non-patentable products. That is why we consider 1970 Patent Act. Especially, it lists the subject matter that cannot be patented. In 1970s Act clearly defines certain kind of products which cannot be patented under the section 3 and 4 of the Patent Act. Below are some of the main categories. One is called as the product that is frivolous inventions. Frivolous means silly. Any kind of a silly inventions or those contrary to natural law, which are not having any kind of importance in the public, cannot be patented. For example, a kind of a fan that is being identified. If you increase the size of the fan and buttons are differently designed, that cannot be patented, because there is no much change. The fan concept is similar. There is no change in that. There is no any change in the atmosphere. Only the design has got changed. It cannot be patented because it is very silly actually. An innovation which can destroy public security, any kind of public security that destroys, is also not patented. It's not only silly, anything which is destroying the public security. For example, you have invented a particular product to crack the locks. To crack the lock cannot be patented. If you invent any kinds of software that can crack the secret informations of the government, cannot be patented because they are detrimental to the law. Inventions contrary to public law, again, order, that is morality, or harmful to life, environment and all that. Example, a chemical formulation intended to illegal activities or methods for cloning humans cannot be patented because they are harmful. There is, again, it is against to the general law. Suppose, for example, if you invent a product which can kill the people without any evidences, a kind of a poison that you have created, invented to kill the human beings, cannot be patented because such things can be patented by the government, not by any inventor at an individual level. So mere discoveries of a scientific principles or abstract theories, if you invent some scientific theories which are not actually in practice, cannot be patented. For example, if you make a particular what you call as a product that can survive in moon or Mars with the help of theoretical aspects, what is the gravitation force on the moon, what is the gravitation force of the Mars, you have invented, but that use is no way available, and that is theory only, because nobody can go there and experiment whether the product is really working or not. Such kind of things cannot be patented. Another example could be discovering the law of a gravity or a new mathematical constant cannot be patented. Next one is mere discoveries of a new form of known substances without enhanced efficiency. Some substance you identify, but it does not enhance the efficiency. In fact, it reduces the efficiency. You might have seen that in Three Idiots movie, the innovators who tried to write it on the moon and Mars, where they find the zero gravity pen, but that zero gravity pen is too costly to afford. Then the hero asks, why can't we use the cis pencil instead of that? Because when pencil can resolve that problem, if you identify one more product which is more costly but not feasible to work, that cannot be patented, because the purpose of doing that thing can be done by another one which is cost oriented and it is more convenient. That product is already in existence. Your new product, which is costly and does not satisfy the expectation out of that, cannot be patented, because based on public utility, this product, such kind of products are disqualified. Finding a new crystalline uh, from polymorph of a known drug, unless it demonstrates significantly enhanced efficiency. It means that you identify some polymer, some plastic related chemicals which is more stable than the existing one, which should be more stable and more heat resistance, then that product can be patented. But if you identify a new one which is different than the earlier but doesn't have a heat resistance than the existing plastic, cannot be patented, because it doesn't resolve the problem existing and cannot give additional utility. The mere administrative resulting, next important point, mere admixture resulting only in the aggregation of the properties. Example, missing two known that is painkillers together, whether these mixture only exhibit combination properties without any new effects. For example, Reddy's laboratory has identified a pneumosolide product. Pneumosolide is an anti-inflammatory product which relieves the pain. When the pneumosolide is introduced, which is not other than the diclofenac sodium, which is already existing in the market, other than the paracetamol and analgesics that are available in the market. So this molecule was entirely different. Its impact was different, and it is more what you call as impact oriented. Then this product got patented. Over a period of time, another company has come out with the combination of the diclofenac sodium with the other kind of with the pneumosolide combination. That drug was not patented, because this kind of combination of existing products already do not have any value. You can have copyright, but you cannot have patenting. You can have a copyright but cannot have a patent. Next important things that we can see, the products which cannot be patented, that arrangement or rearrangement of a known devices. Example, placing familiar household devices together in the box without producing a new results. For example, you have identified a new case where different tools can be presented in a nice manner. That device cannot be patented, because already there are several devices and there is no what do you call as a big science in innovating that. Such things cannot be patented. Methods of agriculture or horticulture activities, a new method. I'm not talking about the equipments. I'm talking about the method of cultivation. Say, for example, normally the cultivation is done in the month of before the rainy season. The cultivation is done. Rain starts during the month of June and July. Before that, cultivation is done. You have identified the method where the cultivation can be done even during the rainy season also, with a protected farm, with a protection kind of a things. Then this cannot be patented, because there is no important science in that. It is only a new idea which is not practiced properly in all the parts of the country. Then any processes for medicinal, surgical, or curative diagnostics, therapeutic treatments of a human or animals. Example, a new surgical technique. See, like a similar to the agriculture, even in the field of medicines, in the field of anatomy, in the field of operations, surgical types, any new method you identify as surgical. That, for example, earlier when the heart operation was to be made, it was open heart surgery where the bones were cut and the chest was opened and the heart was taken for surgery. Now, new technology has been identified where you are going to punch a kind of operating equipment from the directly to the point through is what you call as a PET scan image and all that to identify where the block is and directly insert through the hole and what you call as rectify that. This method has no any kind of patenting activity because already the microscopic operating tubular equipments were already available. It was used for thrombosis in the veins. The same thing you are using it to operate. This technique of new innovation, it is not a new innovation and there is no any kind of this cannot be patented. But if you invent any kind of a new operators equipment, that can be definitely, for example, you are using earlier as an X-ray machine. Now replacing the X-ray machine, you got some kind of ultrasonography machines through ultrasonography, where the technique is entirely different. It was patented by the innovator because Xerox machine, because X-ray machine was an old concept where it was only reflecting the image. But this is supersonic sound. Sound images are creating, sound waves are creating the images through ultrasonography. That is why this can be patented. So plants and animals, next important, plants and animals as a whole or any part except microorganisms, essentially biological processes for production or a new variety of a wheat or a method for breeding the cows is not patented. It means that a method of variety of a wheat that you cultivate, you identify from the existing sources itself is not, because that wheat will carry the same kind of a wheat quality of the existing one, which it cannot be patented. If you identify a wheat which can germinate very fast and will have a different nutritional value than the existing one, like a glutamic free in that, there is no glutamic even if it is a same wheat quality, and that breed if you identify, definitely it can be patented because it should be something different than the existing one. Mathematical or business methods, computer programs per se, or algorithms, any kind of such things if we innovate can be copyrighted. It can be under Copyright Act, but doesn't come under the what you call as Patent Act. The last point of the discussion is aesthetic creations. Any kind of a glamorous approach you give into the existing product. Like for example, the mobile phone or the TV that you give certain glamour, similar different adjustment cannot be patented. It can be copywritten. It can be copywritten since you are the main person to identify the designs, can be copywritten, but it cannot be this one. Suppose for example, the dome TV, which were replaced with the flat TV, the concept is entirely different, can be patented. Can be patented. So this is why what we call as schemes, rules, or methods of performing mental acts, playing games, that cannot be patented. A new method for playing a chess or solving the Sudoku problems cannot be patented because it is an idea that you have generated which is already in existence. Somebody might have already been done of it. There is no evidence that how it can be whether it is there or not, it is very difficult. That's why it cannot be patented. Presentation of information, for example, any kind of a data, new way you are presenting, the new pictorial way you are presenting cannot be patented because it is already can be used by anybody. It is possible to do by third party. Topography of the integrated circuits, any circuits that topography or some layers you have changed, that cannot be patented. For example, the microchips which are getting more heat in the computer system, you are putting a fan on that, or you are putting some kind of elements where its heat can be resisted and reduced, where the life of that particular product can be enhanced, cannot be patented because already this is done and it is in prevalence practices. Is not a new innovation that you are doing. Traditional knowledge, like example, already that has been used, turmeric used for the wound and all that cannot be patented. The content in the turmeric, which can be extracted and can be prepared a different medicine out of that, can be patented. Because few years back, Americans got the extraction of a turmeric called curcumin. They extracted one potential part of the turmeric and started using it for immunity development. That was patented by USA. Even if Indians know that turmeric can be used for enhancing the immunity, which we used to consume it in the milk or in certain kinds of medicinal way, we used to consume the turmeric. But identification of a curcumin product in that by synthesizing that, and that only curcumin was patented, is can be patented because it is entirely new, which large of the part of the world doesn't know. Innovations relating to atomic energy, any kind of atomic energy related innovations, blasts, or any kind of atomic energy that you are identifying, uranium. Other than that, if you are finding out any product, that is uranium, radium, stands for radiation activity and all that. If you thorium, any kind of such new innovations, if you do it, you cannot patent it, basically because it cannot be given to the private people for use, otherwise destruction may happen. Therefore, government will protect that kind of patenting by the individual authorities and use it at their own level. Therefore, government will take a supersede of it, and all that such patents will become the country government properties. Okay. Thank you, friends. Thanks for watching this video. I think this video is most useful to you. Majority of the time, the questions may come in the examinations. What is patent? Discuss the characteristics and role of patent, or sometimes discuss the Patents Act, which prohibits the patenting acts. What are the list of the products which cannot be patented? These questions may be asked in the examination. Kindly prepare for that. Wish you all the best for your preparations and all that. Thank you, friends. Thanks for watching the movie. I will come out with the different things in intellectual property rights. Kindly subscribe my channel. Thank you.